Hare Krishna. So we move on to chapter 8. We are recapping, not move on to chapter 8. Recap of chapter 8 is Arjuna's question, the best question that he asked, right? How to attain Krishna. And then death is the final exam. When to prepare? We have to prepare now, 24 hours, 365 days. What is the syllabus? It's going to Goloka Vrindavan. How to prepare? Keep on doing it every time. And what will be the result? We'll be free from the cycle of birth and death and be with Krishna. Attaining the Supreme, how to attain, why, and what do we attain out of it? We learned yesterday. Pure devotion is best. Other yogis do, pure devotees are yoga dharma. Other yogis, they are dependent on auspicious time and all. Pure devotees don't bother about anything. They are totally into Krishna consciousness. So this was chapter 8. Today we are moving on to chapter 9. It is Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga, the most confidential knowledge. So chapter 8 ended with what? That a person who accepts devotional service, at the end he will reach supreme abode. Vedeshu sarveshu vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tasarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. So the devotee, he will reach the supreme abode. So beginning of Bhagavad Gita, like chapter 1, it is the introduction of the rest of the book, right? Chapter 2 and 3, spiritual knowledge has been described and it's called confidential. Then chapter 7 and 8 are specifically related to devotional service because they bring enlightenment to us in Krishna consciousness. So that's more confidential. But matters which are described in 9th chapter, it deals with unalloyed pure devotion. That is why it is called the most confidential knowledge. So Krishna has spoken all the 34 shlokas in this chapter, and he is going to talk about his Aishwarya Jnana, and different types of worshippers. Who are the different types of worshippers of Lord Krishna? Then he is also going to talk about the glories of being in Krishna Bhakti. So let's see how it goes. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyamana suyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase shubhat. Anybody there to do the translation? Any volunteers?
Yes, Mother. The Supreme Lord said, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you the most secret wisdom, knowing which you shall be revealed of the mystery of material existence.
So see, the opening words of Bhagavad Gita, how does it indicate, right? So Lord Krishna is speaking. Lord Krishna here said, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. We had discussed this before also. Bhaga means opulences, right? Van means the one who is possessing these opulences. Like Jnanavan, Shraddhavan, right? So we have, what is Bhagavan? Bhagavan is anybody remembers 6 opulences of Bhagavan? Anyone? Any opulence
fame,
you remember?
Wealth, fame.
Yes. Very good. Wealth, fame.
Austerity.
Okay. Anyone else wants to add to what Prabhuji just said? Anybody wants to add something?
Beautiful.
Longest.
Yeah. So is all knowledge, all complete, absolute wealth, absolute power, absolute beauty, absolute fame, absolute renunciation. So completely, we are Krishna's big fans here. Powers, we are his powerful. He's so powerful. We are big fans of his. So in the first verse of 9th chapter, by the word Guhyatamam. Guhyatamam here he is trying to indicate that he's going to impart, he's going to tell us the most confidential knowledge. To whom he is here telling to Arjuna. The question is, why is he telling to Arjuna? Why not somebody else? It is because he says Arjuna is Anasuya. Anasuya means what? Anasuya way means non-envious. He is not at all envious of anything. in this material world, you see, if someone is greater than us, if he has got some Mercedes Benz, we get jealous. We are envious, right? We are not only envious of one another, we are envious of God as well. Example is Hiranyakashyap. Because Arjuna is not envious, so Krishna is going to tell this special knowledge to Arjuna. He'll not only impart the theoretical part of the knowledge, but he is also going to give the practical knowledge. Vijnana Sahitam. Jnanam, Vijnana Sahitam he is going to give. So in this first verse, specific significance goes to Idam Jnanam. This knowledge. It refers to what is that knowledge? The pure devotional service. So what are the 9 devotional activities? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So Shravanam means hearing. You have to hear. Kirtanam, chant the names of God, holy names of God, his forms, his qualities, everything. Smaranam, keep remembering God. Padasevanam, like Goddess Lakshmi, serve the lotus feet of the Lord. Archanam, worship the God. Vandanam, offer prayers to him. Dasyam, like Hanuman, become his servant. Sakhyam, Arjuna's best friend of Krishna. Atmane, complete surrender to Krishna. So by this practice, of these 9 devotional service, we can reach that spiritual consciousness at least, This is what it was told by Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. I mentioned before also, right? In 5th chapter. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyatmani Vedanam, Iti Punsam Pitar Vishnu, Bhaktischaina Valakshana, Kriyeta Bhagavat Yatha, Tanmanye Dhita Uttamam. So that's what he says. You have to remember all this. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmani Vedanam. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshavagam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam.
This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyful performed.
Joyfully performed. Here the word Raj Guhyam. Guhyam. It means it's a very confidential knowledge. The word Pavitra. Pavitra means it's very pure. This Raj Vidya, this confidential knowledge is very, very pure. That's what Krishna is trying to tell. Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyam. So Pavitram Ida Uttamam. This is very, very topmost knowledge, Uttamam knowledge. Why? Because it's the most confidential. Why? It is going to tell us the difference between the soul and the body. And it is the king of all confidential knowledge, and it includes devotional service. Generally what happens, people are not educated in this confidential knowledge. Nobody teaches us, right? From the beginning, nobody has taught us Gita in schools. They are educated in external knowledge, right? Like they will be learning about politics, sociology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, astronomy, then engineering, Ayurveda, whatever. There's so many departments of knowledge all over the world. There's so many big universities also, but unfortunately, no university or educational institute, there is a science of spirit soul is instructed. But everybody knows soul is the most important part of the body. Without the presence of the soul, there is no body. Body has no value. Still, people are placing so much stress on bodily necessities of life, not caring about the vital soul. I'm not saying that body should not be taken care of. Vehicle is important, but keep polishing that vehicle all the 24/7. That is also not correct. You have to look after the driver also. Driver is more important than the vehicle. If driver is not able to drive the vehicle properly, what's the point of keeping that vehicle in the parking place and keep polishing it? No point, right? If there is no driver. So take care of the soul as well. So the process of devotional service of Krishna consciousness, that's the king of all education. And it's the king of all confidential knowledge. So when this kind of science and it is easy to practice, then why do people not apply? By learning it. Why are people not doing it? Krishna will explain in the next verse. Why they are not applying it? Ashraddhadhana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Yes, please,
Those
Bharini
who have not,
Mataji. Do you want to read or you have raised your hand?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
read.
Very
Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service can't attain me, O conqueror of foes, but return to the birth and death in this material world. 9.3 Nectar of devotion stages.
yes.
I don't read
Okay.
this.
Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangotha Bhajan Kriya. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. People cannot, apply themselves. They are not able to apply it. Why? Because Krishna is explaining it here. Why they are not able to apply? Faith, Shraddha, Ashraddha Dhana. There is Shraddha is needed. They are faithless people. They are not able to take up the process of devotional service. You don't have faith. Faith is very important. What will happen? Suppose you are not serious in your studies. You will remain in the same class. Similarly, if you are not serious in your spiritual practice or devotion or sadhana, how will you get away from the jaws of cycle of birth and death? You cannot, right? So in order to end this cycle of birth and death, what should we do? We should, see, no matter how wonderful the knowledge may be, how effective the path may be, it is useless if one is refusing to walk on that path. If the path is beautiful, but you don't want to walk on it, then what's the point? Initially, at first, what we need is leap of faith, right? As it is said in the screen, you can see Nectar of Devotion 1.4.15 states. Adav Shraddha. First, you need Shraddha. That is the first step. If you ask me how to proceed, Mataji, first you should have God to proceed towards God realization is have faith. Tatha sadhu sango, the association of devotees, satsang, tha bhajana kriya. Then keep the spiritual programs and then personal practice of devotion, right? That is very, very important. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakthamurtina matsthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavasthitah. Hare Krishna.
By me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them.
All beings are
9.5
in me. I am not in them. You can see. Lord Krishna's name, his fame, his pastimes, it cannot be understood by imperfect senses. It's not possible. See in Brahma Samhita what Brahma said. Premam janachurita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundaram achinta gunaswarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. So what is he saying? I worship. You can read Matas.
I worship Govinda, the pre-well Lord.
Who is Shyam Sundara. Hare Krishna.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shyam Sundara, Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes,
Love.
whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
Love. So you can see how much Brahma is praising him, right? It is said, although he is all pervading, he is everywhere, but we cannot conceive him with our senses. It is Avyakta Murtina. So this whole material creation has been made by God, by his material energy. Souls are also energy of God, and they are his superior energy also, Jiva Shakti. But the whole world, all the souls, everybody, both, everything is God's energy, and it is within his personality. But Krishna is also saying that he does not dwell in living beings. That means the whole infinite, how can you contain it into finite? Can anything big fit into small? So that is because far more than the sum total of these energies. God is far bigger than all this. Like, let's see the ocean. The ocean throws up many waves, right? These waves are part of the ocean, but ocean is much, much bigger than the sum total of all the waves. Similarly, the souls, the Maya, we are all existing within the personality of God, yet He is beyond them. See the analogy of the waves and the ocean, similar. न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो ममात्मा भूतभावनः.
And yet everything that is created does not
Please be louder, Mataji, cannot hear.
And yet everything that is created does not reset in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, still myself is the very source of creation.
So what is Lord saying? Everything is resting in Him, on Him. Matsthani sarva bhutani. All the living beings are resting on Him. Sometimes, we see a picture of Atlas holding the globe on his shoulders. He seems to be very tired, as you can see in the picture. He's holding the globe. He's very tired, right? He's holding this earthly planet. Such an image should not be entertained. Not at all. It should not be entertained. Why? Because in connection to Krishna's upholding this universe, it's different. The whole planetary system, it's all floating in the space. And this space, that is the energy of Krishna, Supreme Lord. He is different from the space, We sometimes think of doing something, but there are so many difficulties that come in our way, right? It's not possible to do as we like. But if Krishna wants to do something, simply by his will, he is going to do everything perfectly well. Yatha kashasthito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan tatha sarvani bhutani matsthani tupadharaya.
As the mighty wind blowing everywhere always rests in eternal space. Know that in the same manner all being rests in me.
So Lord Krishna has used the word matsthani. So many times you must have noticed matsthani, matsthani. He has used 3 times from verse number 4 to verse number 6. It means what? Matsthani means all living beings rest in him. Matsthani, all, sthani, in him, all the living beings. They cannot be separated from him, even though we are changing our bodies. We are going into different bodies, accepting, we are getting attached to the matter and all, but still, we are still his part. Supreme Lord Krishna is now giving an analogy of, so that we can understand this concept. What is the analogy? He is using the word vayu, wind. He says, wind has no existence independent from the sky. You cannot say sky is separate, wind is separate. It's moving within the sky, right? Within that range. It is moving furiously, but it still is within that sky. Similarly, the souls, they have no existence independent of God. They are running here and there, but the God is there. The sky is there. We are running here and there. As we generally say, the blade of grass will also not move without the will of Krishna. So everything is moving under his will. Still, he is away like a sky. As the sky is always aloof from the activities of the wind. That is the analogy Krishna has given over here. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punastani kalpadau visrajamiham.
The whole cosmic order is under me. By my will,
Son of, I think, son of, oh.
The whole cosmic order is under me. By my will, it is manifested again and again. And by my will, it is annihilated at the end.
That's the wrong translation you're reading. O son of Kunti, at the end of millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature. And at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. Prakritim swamavashtabhya visrajami punah punaha bhutagramamimam kritsnam avasham prakriter vashat. Yes, Mataji, you can read this one.
The whole order is under me. By my will, it is manifested again and again, and by my will, it is annihilated at the end.
Nivedita Mataji, your voice is very soft. It can't be heard clearly. You check your mic, please. So Lord Krishna is explaining in the last few verses that all living beings are Matsthani. They are dwelling in him. So this statement, it brings up a question in our mind. When Mahapralay, the great annihilation takes place and the entire world is wound up, where do all these living beings go? So the answer to this question is given in this verse. What does he say? Kalpakshaye. Kalpakshaye means what? At the end of Brahma's lifespan. When Brahma's lifespan is going to end, the entire cosmic manifestation, it is dissolved. All the souls in this material creation, they also go and rest in the body of God in the state of suspended animation. It's just lying like this, frozen, as I was telling yesterday. They freeze eggs, and then when they want babies, they take out frozen ones. So it's frozen. It's just stayed suspended animation. At the time of creation, then the material energy is let loose completely, right? Mahat Tattva, into which the Lord, as his first Purusha incarnation, Mahavishnu, he enters. You can see in the screen. He lies within the causal ocean, right? The causal ocean is what? It's the origin of material creation. After causal ocean, material creation starts. So it is the place in the spiritual sky where Mahavishnu is lying down and he is creating the material world. The causal ocean is like, it's the border between the spiritual and the material world. It's the border. There Mahavishnu is lying. And what does Mahavishnu do while lying down? He's breathing out. He's breathing out innumerable universes. And then once these innumerable universes are formed, each universe, he enters as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Each universe is created that way. And then further to that, he comes as Kshirodakshay Vishnu. How? He enters into every small atom, from atom to living, everything he enters inside. Anuraniyam, smallest of the smallest, minute even in the minute atom, he enters as Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So Mahavishnu, then what happens? Garbhodakshay Vishnu in each universe, and then Kshirodakshay Vishnu in every minute atom. The souls that were lying like this, frozen in suspended animation, with only causal bodies, then again they are placed into this world. In accordance with whatever bodies they are getting, they again receive their gross bodies, made with those 5 elements. And then various life forms are created. If we, according to our karmas, we haven't done good karmas, we'll become a reptile or a snake or animal, cow, God knows, human being, even very good pious credits, devatas. So these forms, they vary naturally, right? In the nature, in different planets, different existence is made. So in some planetary systems, you will notice that fire is the main dominant element in the body. For us, earth is the dominant element. In some universe and planets, you will find fire as the dominant element. So we are with like earth, water. So he enters into everything. Nachamam tani karmani nibadhnanti dhananjaya udasinavadasinam asaktam teshu karmasu.
Oh Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am very detached, sitting as the true neutral.
This example, he says he is very neutral in the sense like a judge is sitting over there in high court, right? He's sitting, he's giving order. By his order, many things are happening. Someone is being hanged, someone is being arrested, someone is being awarded, saying that you have to pay a large amount of fine, So he's neutral. He has nothing to do with what others have done. He just gives his judgment, right? So after explaining all this, that he is unaffected and he is neutral, he is going to explain that he is not the doer. He is just a supervisor. Krishna's relationship with the material world. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam etuna anena kaunteya jagat viparivartate.
This material nature, which is one of my energy, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings under its rule, this manifestation is created and unheated again and again.
Thank you, Mataji. If anybody else wants, please raise your hands. We'll give you a chance. When God, he wishes to create the world, what does he do? He just glances at the material energy. That's it. The material energy till then is lifeless. But as soon as it takes a glance, it receives inspiration from God and it starts to act, as if, it were responsible. Like, let's see if I have a. I'm just showing this for lack of having a good tongs. Chef kitchen, they use tongs. So this is like a pair of tongs in the hand of a chef, right? As long as it is lying on the table, it is lifeless, right? But as soon as it has come in my hand, it comes to life and does wonderful things. Like with a tong, I can lift hot things, or with the scissors, I can cut so many things, right? Otherwise, on the table, it is lying lifeless. Similarly, the material energy does not have the power to anything. As soon as Krishna looks, everything starts happening, right? That's what he is explaining over here. Avajananti ma mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Hare Krishna. Who wants to do? Please raise your hand. Hare Krishna. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. So, personality of Godhead, what does he do? He conducts the creation. He's making the creation. He's maintaining the creation. He's annihilating the creation. Complete cosmic manifestation. He cannot be a human being like us. But we make that mistake. We're so foolish that we consider Krishna to be merely he's powerful man. He's a powerful man. He is nothing more than powerful. Cannot be. He has created the whole creation. So Krishna is using the word mudha. Avajananti mam mudha means dim-witted. Those, they deny the divinity of his personal form. He calls them mudha. So he is the original supreme personality of God, right? As confirmed by Brahma also. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam, he says. He's praying to Lord Krishna. I worship Lord Krishna. He is eternal. He is all-knowing. He is blissful. He is without a beginning and an end. He is the cause of all causes. And after saying all this also, if we don't show respect to Krishna, what to say, right? Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. But he will show as if, he's a normal person just for us. Like if with Balrama, he was playing around in the forest, right? We did not understand, but he did so many superhuman acts. He killed so many demons. So when he appeared before his father and mother, he appeared in Narayan Swarup, right? Before Vasudeva and Devaki, he appeared with his 4 hands. And after the prayers of the parents, he became into a small baby, right? In 11th chapter also, it is stated that Arjuna prayed. He wanted to see Krishna's universal form. And he also wanted to see his Narayana form. Tene varupena chaturbhujena, he says. So he wanted to see his Chaturbhuja form. But after showing that form, Arjuna said, please come back to your Manusham Rupam. I want to see you as you are, I'm fine, I'm happy with that, but I want you in Manusha Rupam. I love you in that Rupam. He loved Krishna in that Rupam, right? So these different features of Supreme Lord, they are certainly not those of an ordinary human being. So we are mudha to think that he is powerful. And we have seen the person is lying down. I have to watch this serial, no time to go to the temple. So watching TV is more important to him. So we are mudha. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakriti mashritaha bhajante nanya manaso jnatva bhutadim avyayam. Yes, Bharani Mata. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, you have to unmute. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. See, Krishna's style of discourse, I love this discourse. You know why? He drives home the point by making starkly contrasting comparisons. So contrast, right? In the previous one, what was he saying? They are deluded, they are confused, mudha. And this one is talking about great souls. Contrast complete. Next sloka comes and contrast. So great souls who receive divine grace, they are endowed with a lot of love, and they are engaged in complete uninterrupted devotion of God, complete towards Krishna. So in this verse, description of Mahatma, Mahatmanastu is given. So what is the first sign of Mahatma? He is situated in divine nature. He is not under the control of Maya. He is surrendering himself to Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So he is freed from Maya. Now, you want to be free from Maya? Surrender to God. It's not easy. You have to do. That's the qualification of Mahatma. Such a Mahatma, such a great soul, is always engaged. Unwavering service. Not that today I did, tomorrow I won't. Unwavering service of the Lord. Such a Mahatma, great Mahatma was, you know who? Madhavendra Puri. Story time. So, Srila Madhavendra Puri once traveled to Vrindavana, where he came upon Govardhan Hill. So there he sat under a tree, and he was tired. He was taking his evening rest. While he was resting, a cowherd came, a gopi, some cowherd. He came with a pot of milk. He placed it in front of Madhavendra Puri and told him, please, drink this milk. I have brought it for you. Madhavendra Puri looked at his honey-coated sweet voice, and he forgot all his hunger by listening, hearing him. Who are you? He asked. He said, where do you live? He said, I am a cowherd. I am a gopi. I am a cowherd. I reside nearby village only. The women who were going past this area, they were taking some water and they saw you. And they asked me to, give you this much. They supplied me with the milk. And you know what? I have to go. I have to look after my cows. But I will come back and I will take this milk pot from you. So saying, he went away. So after drinking the milk, Madhavendra Puri waited for that boy, but he never returned. So Madhavendra Puri started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then I think he must have fallen asleep in his dream. The boy came before him holding his hand, and he took him to a bush in the jungle. And that boy showed Madhavendra Puri that bush and said, I am residing in that bush. And because of this, you know what? I feel very cold. It's so cold. During rainy season, the rain is falling on me. I'm tolerating the wind and the scorching heat, everything, Please do me a favor. Construct a temple for me on the top of that hill, that you see. Install me in that temple. And then wash me, with full cold water, so that my body, which has become little dirty, become cleansed. Many days I have been observing you, and I've been wondering, when will Madhavendra Puri come to serve me? My name is Gopala. I am the lifter of Govardhana Hill. And when these Mohammedans, they attacked, the priest who was serving me hid me in the bush in the jungle. Then he ran away out of fear because Mohammedans were attacking. So since the priest went away, I have been staying in this bush. It's very good that you have come here. Now please lead me with care. So Madhavendra Puri then went to the place where the boy instructed him to go, and then found the Gopal deity. Then great installation. Of course, the story goes that I'm telling in short, great installation was done for Sri Gopala, right? So Sri Gopala was done, and and he was installed as a deity. Madhavendra Puri did all that with the help of all the villagers. So he took the idol up, and he did whatever he could do, and that's how. But right now that deity is Srinathji or Gopalji. It is at Okay. It is at the Nath Dwar in Rajasthan. Very little is known about early years of Madhavendra Puri. I think he came somewhere around 14th century. But his pure love for God, it's very, very uncommon, right? It's simply upon seeing a dark rain cloud also, he would fall down unconscious, like he would see Krishna everywhere. That was his stage of devotion. No wonder God came in his dream and he came in front of him. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha tridavvrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Yes, Bharani Mataji, you want to read? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes,
Always
Kamal
chanting
Mataji,
my
please read.
glorious, enduring with great determination,
Kamal
bowing
Mataji,
down.
please read.
Hello.
Yes, Kamal Mataji. She wanted to read, right?
Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
So he said, right, great souls engage in his devotion, perpetually worship me with devotion. He's now explaining how to do bhakti. He says, devotees, they become attached to kirtan, to do devotion. When we sing, when we sing bhajan and all, we get so much of energy, right? We're singing the glories of name, form, qualities of Krishna in association, right? That's kirtan. So we are hearing also, we are doing kirtan also, and we are remembering God also. So we have covered 3 devotional services, right? What is that? Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. So what is the goal? Goal is to fix our mind upon God. Of course, it becomes easier when we are doing with hearing and chanting. That's what it becomes easy. Fools, they neglect bhakti. The divine people, they don't. So we need to do all the 3, Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam, all the time, like Srila Prabhupada. Traividyamam somapah putapapah yajnerištva swargatim prarthayante te punyamasadya surendra lokam ashnanti divyan divi deva bhogan. Yes, Mataji, Kamal Mataji. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. They take birth on the planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. See this one. So if you do a sin, you go to hell. So why go to heaven or hell? Why not go to a place where you don't have to come back again? What is that place? Anybody? What is that place?
Golok.
Goloka.
Goloka.
Yeah, Goloka Vrinda. So why go to heaven or hell? Go to Goloka. So that Vidya refers to all the 3 Vedas here, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Rig Veda. All these Brahmanas who have studied all these, they are called Trivedi, right? That is why. So devotional service, it begins with chanting of Mahamantra. So side by side, we have to understand Krishna in that absolute truth. Unfortunately, those who are studying these Vedas, they get so involved in these yajnas for material benefits, offering it to demigods like Indra and Chandra. And the worshippers of different demigods are certainly elevated to, definitely they go to higher heavenly planets, no doubt about it, right? But what are the planets they go to? Maharloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, all this. But once those who are situated in the higher planetary systems, once they satisfy their senses, they will stay there. Hundreds and thousands, they will stay there. But ultimately, they have to come back. So in the following verse, what Krishna is going to tell us, the defect of going to heavenly planets. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punyam martya lokam vishanti evam trayo dharma manuprapanna katagatam kama kama labhante. When they have just thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of 3 Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So what is the defect? The defect is what? Once again, you know, what happens? You have to come back to this earth. Once your pious activities account is closed, come back. So you see this giant wheel on the screen. So what do you see once you reach on the top? What can you see? You have reached the top of the giant wheel. What do you see? Do you see something or not?
See
Nothing?
everything in plan
Entire.
from the
Entire-
aerial view.
Aerial view. Very good. Very nice, Prabhuji. The whole city with its lights and its wonderful sights, right? But once we go to the top, Prabhuji, do we stay there or do we have to come back?
We have to come back.
It will come down, right? So once we go to the top, we have to come down. We can't stay there. Similarly, if we go to heavenly planets, we have to again come down to this earth because it is still in that material realm. So we are simply revolving and, in the cycle of birth and death all the time. Sometimes higher planetary systems, sometimes lower planetary systems. But instead, isn't it better to attain the spiritual world where we don't have to go through all this? Enjoy eternal life of bliss. No need to come to this dukkhalaya ashashvatam, miserable temporary material world. We should aim for God realization. How? Engage in devotion. And how can it be done? Krishna is going to tell us. Ananyashchintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Yes, Ravi.
But those who worship me with devotion, meditation on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have.
Just see. Complete surrender. In this verse, Lord Krishna is offering like a motherly assurance to all of us, like fallen souls. He says, if you surrender to me, then he said, Vaham yoga kshemam vaham aham. Means I will personally carry your burden. I will personally maintain my devotees. I will personally take care of him. Just, all the married couples, how are we carrying the burden of maintaining the family? So here Krishna is promising two things. First, yoga. He will give us mercy so that devotee need not come back to this material condition of life. Second, he says kshema. Kshema means he is going to give us protection. He will take care of us. Merciful protection. But there is a condition he has placed. Everywhere there is a condition. And what is that condition? Exclusive surrender. Ananyash chintayanto mam. Continuous, ultimate. So when we act from our independent will, we think we are the doer of our actions. We do something such as we get ego. Oh, I have done it. We never give that credit to God, right? But God says, if you have that, you want to take the credit, then you take care of yourself. Then I will not take care of you. Okay, fine. He will not bestow his grace. Then he will note down our karmas, whatever we have done. Accordingly, he will give the result. That is done. End of the story. But if we surrender to him partially, he will give partial grace. That's it. He says, okay, you are able to go on your crutches. Okay, walk the way you want. He will give partial grace to us. But when we offer ourselves completely exclusive, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, complete, then he bestows complete grace. And then he will take complete responsibility. We do everything. If there is successful, we get the ego and we say we have done it. And when something goes wrong, we say God has done it. No. We haven't even surrendered. And we say, God, no. So he says he will take complete responsibility if we do complete surrender. How? By preserving what we have and providing what we lack. That's what he said. So results achieved by those who accept or reject Krishna. What are the results achieved if we accept or reject Krishna? Yanti devavrata devan pitruyanti pitavrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopi mam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors. and those who worship me will live with
Live
me.
with me. So nice. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Martha. So in this verse, what Lord Krishna is explaining so nicely, right? He is revealing what varieties of destinations we may go into. If we will worship demigods, devatas, we will go to Devalok, heavenly planets, where their account of good karmas will be taken, noted. Okay, your karma, your good account is depleted now. Please go back now. It's time to go back to the material world. If we pitras means who? Ancestors. So it is very good to be grateful for whatever our ancestors have done, no doubt about it. We should always be grateful. But undue concern with their welfare, that also becomes detrimental to us. Keep on doing like that is detrimental. Those who get engaged in ancestor worship, they will go to ancestors' abode after death. And then there are people who are in mode of ignorance. They worship ghosts and spirits. That is called black magic. In India, there are some villages also, they invoke ghosts and spirits. So Lord Krishna says that persons who indulge in such things, they take births among ghosts and spirits in their next life. Who are the highest devotees? They are those who attach their minds to Krishna. The word vrata. Vrata is here, means what? Resolve. Their strong determination. It's not easy. You have to be very disciplined. Such fortunate souls who have that firm resolve to worship only Krishna, and they worship him, they attain the loks. Some may go to Vaikuntha lok, some may go to Krishna lok, without a doubt. And they go to this divine abode after death. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakta yupahrutam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Simplicity of worshipping Krishna. Say,
If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I will accept it.
this so nicely has given, right? It's so simple, very simple. You don't need anything. You don't need to please him so much. So how easy it is to do? In the worship of devatas and ancestors, we have to do so much of yajnas, and we have to strictly follow some rules. Otherwise, you break one rule and you cannot do the yajna. Krishna, he accepts anything, but condition is again there. It has to be offered with a loving heart. That loving heart has to be there. If you have only a fruit, offer it to God. He will be pleased. If there is no fruit, no problem. Flower, okay. See, there is no season of flower. Okay, no problem. Tulsi leaf, gift of love. Leaves are also not there. Okay. Do you have water? Offer water. Whatever is available. He says just do it with devotion. You can see bhaktya 2 times. First sentence, bhaktya prayachati tadam bhakti yuparatam. 2 times bhaktya is used in both the lines. It is the bhakti of the devotee that is pleasing to God, not the worth of the offering. What you are offering is not being seen by Krishna, but how with a lot of devotion you are giving. Prayatatmanaha means I accept the offering of those whose hearts are pure. Srila Prabhupada in his purport also explained very nicely, one who loves Krishna will give him whatever he wants, and he avoids anything which is undesirable or unasked, like meat, fish, eggs, shouldn't be offered to Krishna. If he would have desired such things, he would have written it over here. He would have clearly said. But what is he saying? Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Patram is leaf, pushpam is flower, phalam is flower, fruit, toyam is water. So he is very clearly saying that if you give me this lot of bhakti, I take it. So we have to understand that he will not accept non-veg things. He will accept vegetable, grains, fruit, milk, water, proper food for human beings, right? It's been prescribed by Lord Krishna himself. Whatever else we cannot eat and be offered to him, he will not accept. So we cannot be acting on the level of loving devotion if we offer such foods. We cannot say we are offering with love, but we'll offer non-veg. No, he doesn't want it. He says, I want this. So those who do not make offering of their food, he says in the same verse that they are eating only sin. So we should prepare nice, simple, Simple. No need for any fancy stuff. Just offer in front of deity Krishna. Thank him for giving us the food, right? And pray to him. Offer him humbly and ask him for his blessing that we can advance in our spiritual life, purify us completely, create the fine brain tissues so that that can lead us to clear thinking, right? So if we eat prasadam, what will happen? It will purify our mind, advance us in bhakti, and develop the finer tissues in brain. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Yes, Pranjal.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
So what did he say in previous verse? He stated everything should be offered to him, right? Now what is he saying? Actions. What actions should be offered to him? So what are the actions that should be offered to him? Whatever social duties you may be engaged in, whatever. So vegetarian food one may be eating, right? Whatever you may be drinking, whatever rites you may be performing, whatever austerities you may be observing, mentally offer it to Krishna. So whatever you are doing, whatever you are eating, whatever you are, everything, hand it over to Krishna. That's it. He says very nicely. He's saying, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him.
In this 28th verse, what did he do? He creates the doubt that God is partial towards his devotees, whoever is offering with devotion and all that. So God is taking care of them. That is why what he did, he says, no. I am not partial. I am impartial, because law of karma is equal to same for everyone. So he is releasing his devotees from it. He says everyone is subject to the law of karma. It's not that I'm partial to them, but again, he's clearing this doubt, and he begins this verse by saying samoham, means equal. No, I'm equal to all. Like how he's just like a cloud, which pours rain all over. Suppose rain is falling, right? Regardless of whether it falls on a rock or it falls on a land or on a water, the rain will fall. So the rainwater falls equally upon the earth. Yet, what happens? The drop of water that falls on the field, rice field, it is converted into rice grains. But same drop that falls into the gutter becomes dirty water. So there is no partiality on part of the rain. Rain is not being partial. The rain drops cannot be held responsible for the result that this is a rice field. Rice is coming there, dirty water is coming. What is rain's fault in that? So that is what Krishna is telling here. So that's the nice analogy that we got it. So it's the consequence of the nature of the recipient. What kind of nature we have? His grace is falling, but our nature is bad. Then there is nothing much he can do. He is being impartial. Whatever we do wrong, we have to face that. So God is stating he is equally inclined to all of us. But those who don't want to love him, they are deprived of the benefits of his grace also. Because our hearts are not suitable vessels to receive it also. We need proper heart to receive that grace also, right? If we don't have that, then we cannot. So this explains the words in fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva ma bhajamyaham. So whoever surrenders in whatever proportion, I proportionally take care of him. Whoever surrenders unto me proportionately, the way they surrender, I also take care of them. So what can people do? What can we all do to, whose hearts are impure? So what to be done? So he will give us some power of bhakti also, how to do. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mama anyabhak sadhureva samantavya samayakyavasito hi saha.
Even if one commits the most abnormal actions, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated.
Got it? We got the answer. Purifying power of bhakti. So what is that? It is devotion to Supreme Lord. It is so powerful. It can reform even the most fallen. I told you the story of Jagai Madai, who threw the earthen pot on Nityanand Prabhu. And in similar, in scriptures also we see classic examples of Ajamil. Valmiki story is there. It is commonly sung in Indian languages, right? Valmiki, he did so many impious deeds. It was so difficult, right? You must have heard about sage Valmiki. He was unable to, say Rama, the two syllables, Rama, he was not able to say. He was so sinful, right? What was happening was his sins were preventing him from taking divine name. So Guru came and Guru made him chant the reverse. Mara 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 automatically created the sound Rama 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 Rama. Even that fallen soul as Valmiki, he was reformed to the process of Ananya Bhakti, exclusive devotion, right? He became such a legendary saint. What is the meaning of all this? It means if we have fully engaged ourselves in devotion and in his service, sometimes we may have engaged in abominable activities also, bad activities also. Such activities should be considered to be like, when you see a moon, there are some spots, no? Chand may be dag hai, we say. Such spots does not, there is no impediment to the diffusion of moonlight. Just because the spots are there, moonlight ka diffusion nahi, it's nothing like that, right? Similarly, in case accidentally we do something bad, we are a devotee, but we fall off from that path of, that does not mean that we have become very fallen. He will still give us mercy. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachanti nigachati kaunte apratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes.
Again, it remains the question, right? How can person engaged in bad activities by accident or by intention become a pure devotee? So question can be raised over here, right? So Krishna is explaining over here that if he continues to do exclusive devotion with complete shraddha, unflinching faith in God, heart will become slowly purified. Swiftly they will develop good virtues, right? And so he is telling Arjuna, boldly declare, Arjuna, that my devotees, if they devote their surrender to me, they will never perish. Please tell confidently, go ahead, okay? Tell. It's very interesting why Lord is telling Arjuna to make this statement. Why can't he declare himself? There is a reason. I read it somewhere. The reason is, under special circumstances, Krishna breaks his own promises. But he will never let a devotee's promise break. But he make sure he can break the promise. He will do anything to protect the devotee. Example, Lord Krishna had resolved he will not lift any weapon during Mahabharata war. And Bhishma, he was a perfect devotee of Krishna. He resolved either he would kill Arjuna that day by sunset the next day, or he will make Krishna lift the weapon to protect him. Lord Krishna broke his own promise. He took out the whole wheel of the chariot and went rushed towards Bhishma to hit him. So this reaffirms, right, that Lord Krishna says, Arjuna, you declare my devotee will never perish. I will guarantee that your word will not be lost. I will take care of that. So nice. Mam hi parthavyapashritya yopisvah papayonayaha striyo vaishyastadha shudraha tepiyanti param gatim.
O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me,
yeah, please continue.
Though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can approach the supreme destination.
So it's very clear in this devotional service, there is no distinction between they are higher class, I am lower class, she is woman, she is man, nothing like that. There is no division. Division is only on this material world. There is no division when it comes to service of God. Everyone is eligible, low caste, high caste, there is no caste system only. Everyone is eligible. Lord Krishna has very clearly stated. It's about the purity of mind, right? So it's not even the ones, great devotees, they can enable the lower classes to attain highest perfection. And it's only possible if we take shelter of Krishna. Vyapashritya, take shelter, complete shelter of Krishna. Then only it's possible. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaevam atmanam mat parayanaha.
Engage your mind, always thinking of me, offer obeisances and worship me, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me.
Srila Prabhupada used to do that, right? He was service oriented. He used to teach, he used to preach, he used to cook, he used to make prasadam, he used to write books. It was 24/7 he was at Krishna's service. We may not have that sort of capability right now, right? But at least whenever we do some work or start studying, or maybe, you know, any work that we start, we can take Krishna's name at least. At least we can start that. So in this verse, it's very clearly written, clearly indicated. Krishna consciousness is the only means of being delivered from this clutches of Maya, from this contaminated material world. One should be thinking of Krishna in devotional love. That is bhakti. So the essence of 9th chapter is bhakti. Pure devotee actually has no actual chance to fall down. Why? Because Krishna is personally taking care of pure devotees. He doesn't let them fall down. Krishna is now concluding by telling Arjuna, become my devotee. He asks Arjuna, unite your consciousness to the higher consciousness in true yoga, worship me. Engage your mind in meditation, sadhana, in the divine form. Offer your obeisances, complete humility. Namaskuru. Why do we do namaste? There is a reference to it, that there is an important significance to it, that in pure humility, we are thanking. So namaskuru, act of humble obeisances. So that what happens, why do we do this? Whatever little ego is there, you know, we keep getting this ego. So it may arise in the performance of devotion. So he says humbly, keep doing namaskuru, free from your ego and pride. Heart should be immersed in devotion. We should dedicate our thoughts, our actions, thought, words, and deeds, everything to God. So a devotee is a dhira. Dhira means what? Who is not disturbed by these material problems that we are getting. He realizes that, okay, this is a body. We have a body, we have a mind, we have got this body by chance. So because now that we are in Maya, we have to just simply make use of the bad bargain. This is a bad bargain. Getting a body is a bad bargain, but we have to make best use of the bad bargain. So Lord Krishna is telling, through Bhakti Yoga, you will definitely attain self-realization. Okay. And for this, Lord Krishna is giving guarantee. There is no doubt about it, he says. So if we are intelligent, we should take the process of Krishna consciousness. Happily live in this material world. Keep focusing on Krishna. Slowly we'll receive his grace. Sometime or the other, Krishna will come to us, right? And then he will take us to Goloka Vrindavan. And all of us can go to Goloka Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. So with this, we end chapter 9. So we learned about the knowledge, qualification of a recipient. You should be a devotee and a friend, nature of this knowledge. This is Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yogam. This is king of knowledge. It is very joyful, everlasting, and all our sins are purified, right? We cannot even conceive Lord because he has got inconceivable qualities and inconceivable creation that he has made. So we have to understand who is neglecting their mudhas, and then how he takes care of his devotees, and what is the result of doing demigod worship and glories of devotional service. You know, it's so simple. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. That's it. So simple. We get freedom from miseries, eternal life of happiness in Goloka Vrindavan. What else do we need? So we learned Bhagavad Aishwarya Jnana, ways to approach Krishna, sweetness of exclusive devotion. So in 10th chapter, Lord Krishna, he wants to, increase Arjuna's bhakti. So what will he do? He will describe his infinite vibhutis, glories and opulences, infinite. So let's not waste our chant, and let's chant Hare Krishna, all of us. Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Mataji. So much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Krishna Mataji,
Hello,
thank you
Pranam
Mataji.
Mataji.
Mataji.